Hello, my friends. Today is, what day is it? May 17th.
17th.
I'm Jess Markowitz. If you're brand new to our group, welcome, welcome. One of the best things you can do for your business is to stay connected with your peers that are doing what you're doing. I will tell you that those that show up go up, and they tend to learn new things and tricks and ideas and faster than people that try to do it themselves. So utilize your tribe and your culture and your network of people that want to share with you and learn with you. So if you're on this call, whether you're live or recorded, you're doing what most people don't do, just so you know. That's the biggest reason why people don't make it in, especially our industry, is because they expect that they're going to be successful by purchasing a kit. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. So you have to still learn your business, just like you learn it when you go to your job that you're working for somebody else. You have to go through a training process, right? And they tend to have somebody by your side helping you do your job until you are able to do it on your own. And then you still are required to do more training, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, by whatever. They're always asking you to up your skills. So if you think of your business like a business, you're going to show up and you're going to be open-minded to new things. And even if it's not new, you're going to ask yourself, am I doing this? Am I thinking of my business this way? And how can I make this work for me? So our all consultant call on last Tuesday was about meeting more in May. And this is actually cool because she really just went down the line really fast of different ways to meet people. If you are sticking with your circle of friends and family that you stick with when you first start, the reason why we tell you to reach out to the people that our hands reach is because you already have a relationship with them. They already know you. They most likely like you, and we hope they trust you, right? So it's a lot easier for people that you already have a relationship with. They're your family, they're your friends, they're your coworkers, they're your neighbors, your hair person, your nail person, your eye doctor, all of those people. They already know of you and at least a little bit of your character, right? So you start with them. And one of the things, this is kind of going to be a little recap for as new consultants, but even seasoned consultants forget this. So I always try to remind myself and also bring that back up to all of you, is that your network that you start with, it's great to start with asking them to purchase the product, because yes, they need to try it, they need to experience it, and so they can build their own testimony of it. But what creates a barrier with your business that doesn't move forward is that you're not asking for the party. And what the stigma of, home parties and just the word party has been used in so many ways, positive and negative, that a lot of consultants stay away from them. And that is why their business isn't a business. It's not something you can rely on. It's not something that's consistent. But this type of business is built off of networking. And so the easiest way to network is to create a fun setting, which is a party. And so it doesn't, if you want to use a different word, it's fine. It could be a social, it could be a girls' night out, it could be a girls' day in on Zoom, it could be so many things, but you need to figure out the verbiage that you're confident with to deliver and ask for that booking. Okay. Because your people that know probably about 20 other people that you would have never ever met if you didn't ask them to host in some way. Okay. So I want you to also think about, any of you seasoned consultants, I want you to think about your clientele. Now, if you're seasoned, it's very likely you have a good list of clientele. That's okay. That's actually great because you have more people to go through and say, have I ever actually talked to this person about hosting a party or hosting? You can take out the party, just hosting, collecting orders, introducing the products to their friends and family. So you can be introduced to their network. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's spicy people very well. But the more relationship and trust you build with them, the easier it's going to be to say, hey, you know what? The way my business works, it's actually built off of other people introducing me to their people. And so you post regularly, you buy this, I mean, you buy regularly, you love this product, just like a restaurant. If you loved a restaurant, wouldn't you introduce your friends and family to that restaurant? My business is the same way. So if you can introduce me to your friends and family, then I can share with them the same things that you love. And then you can get credits, free and half off items. Okay. So, how are you going to meet these new people once you have talked to your network and asked them um, to host for you? Now, me, I've been in the business 10 years. So there is nobody on the planet that I have an actual relationship with that doesn't know that I have sell Scentsy, that I'm a consultant, this is my business, and that they can host with me. So I have to create other opportunities for me to meet new people. And she talks about these different ways, which are very important. Last year, because of COVID, one of my biggest resources, and Cindy, she's on live today, hers as well. One of our biggest resources to meet new people was fairs and shows. So if you don't know what that is, or even small events like at school fairs, they like put together like fall festivals and things like that. Libraries have little vendor events. Big offices. I've been to a Christmas, I don't even know what they called it, extravaganza, and it was inside of an actual business. It was a telecommunications company, and what they did for their employees, excuse me, they had an entire day set up of a bunch of vendors in this area. So on their days off, I mean, their breaks, okay, lunch breaks, whatever, they can come and shop because they work long hours. They don't have a lot of time to shop. And so I actually met one of our team members there, Stephanie, her name is. And she saw how much she loved Scentsy, and she actually came back 3 times to buy. And I was like, listen, lady, you need to become a consultant because you already probably have more Scentsy than people that have been buying for like months and years. And she laughed at me, but then I talked to her about what it meant to be a consultant. And so you're not only going to find your next people that are going to host with you, but you're also going to find team members at these parties. But you have to be, I mean, at these events, but you have to be introducing it to them. It has to be on the forefront of your brain. It has to be your intention and your agenda to not leave that event without having contacts that you can connect with about the hosting opportunity or the business opportunity. Because here's what happens, guys. It's great that we're selling. It's great that we had a, $900, event, but that's money for right today, this month. That's it. There's nothing moving forward unless you are intentional and your focus is meeting new people to find new networking opportunities for hosting and becoming a team member. So the product is your tool. That's it. It's just your tool. It's your connector. Okay. Now she moves on to talking about fundraisers. Now, fundraisers were my like main focus for my entire career because that's what inspired me to join. I wanted to help raise money for certain causes. And the fact that I can help my community with my business, I'm sorry, I have something in my eyes, was what inspired me. But even if that's not your go-to, like that doesn't just like float your boat, let me tell you that if you do focus on service, which she talked about, if you focus on service, meaning helping people make their dance fees, or help their kid go to Disneyland and perform, or, you know, pay for their equipment for their sports team, or whatever that may be, let me tell you how people are going to be your biggest fans, because you're supporting them in an area that they need assistance. So what are they going to do in return? You need to call my Scentsy consultant. You need to host with my Scentsy consultant. You need to join my Scentsy consultants team. You need to do a fundraiser with my. And so here's the thing. When somebody says my, they're taking ownership of you and your business. They're claiming you. And what are they doing? They're basically saying, I trust this person. I like this person. I know this person. Okay. So that should be everybody's biggest goal in your business, is to create raging fans that want to support you because you have served them and you have supported them. Now, I want you to think, this is just a side note, but it's very, very much attached to what we're talking about. I want you to think about the host opportunity and the join opportunity as being a generous and what's the other word? Generous and good. I'm just going to say good consultant. What do I mean by that? If you're only asking for the sale, you're being selfish. Flat out. Not going to, you know, blow smoke, just going to be straight and forward, because sometimes we need to hear it. If you're just going for the sale and letting them just buy from you, you're being selfish, because they have an opportunity to not only get Scentsy, I just press some buttons I shouldn't have. They have an opportunity to not only get Scentsy, but to get it for free and half off, or to get it themselves with not only a discount, but also make some money off of it. So if you program your brain that that is what you are doing when you are sharing the opportunity to host and you are sharing the business opportunity, you're not going to feel weird about it. You're not going to be thinking like, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to, all that like icky stuff that goes on when you start talking about hosting and joining. That gets taken away because you feel and know, that you are doing the best service for them. And then they get to choose. You're not putting a gun to their head and saying, you better host a party with me. You're saying, this is what's available. You choose what is your best option. And here's the coolest part, guys. People always tell me, well, what if everybody joins? What if everybody hosts? Okay, that is a great problem. I hope you have it. You're probably not going to, but if you do, it's going to be a very short amount of time, because it's not for everybody. It can be, it should be, but it's not. So, and it's not for everybody right now. And we have to constantly remind, and you guys, I'm not preaching and not saying that I am perfect at this. I'm preaching because I need to remind myself of this as well. That the more we're talking about it, we're eventually gonna get a yes. It's the go for the no, old, direct sales pitch. Go for the no. The more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. It's just math, okay? But you have to ask yourself, are you actually doing that as an intentional focus and system for your business every day, every week, every month? And you're the only one that can answer that, okay? So if you're struggling with sales, you're struggling with parties being booked, you're struggling with getting people to join your team, there's somewhere that's not one of these areas you're not doing, or you're not doing it enough. It's just simple, guys. When I don't sponsor, I'm not having enough sponsoring conversations. It's plain and simple. If I'm not selling, I'm not talking about the products, I'm not sharing about what's going on in Scentsy. And if I'm not booking parties, I'm not asking and sharing the opportunity. It's nothing that I can hide. It's right there in the numbers. Okay. So She also talked about beating the streets. I loved that she put it that way. She kind of giggled when she said it like she was embarrassed, but that's what it is, guys. I didn't get to where I am by sitting around and waiting for people to give me a phone call or to text me. I beat the streets. And what that means is I went into offices and I offered my products as samples, as a chance to try the products. I gave samples to them to try. I dropped off on the go parties so they can have their own parties in offices. So when I say offices, I mean any office. Any office, you could choose a strip mall and say, I am going to walk myself into every single store today, and that is my goal. Or, you know, 3 of them, or whatever you have the courage to do, even if it's one, I am going to walk myself into one office this week and offer to lend them a warmer or a wall fan diffuser or whatever. Because here's the thing, when I started, it was wax and warmers. That's what we offered. That's it. So that's all I could offer. You have an opportunity now to offer mini fan diffusers to sit at the desk of the person that greets you when you walk in this office. Say, hey, you work, how many hours do you work a day? Well, are you part-time? You work 4 hours, 8 hours, whatever time that they are there. Do me a favor and try this. It's a newer product. They don't know how new it is. It is still a newer product. This is a newer product to our catalog, and it's perfect for computers, desks. Would you do me a favor and try this, connect this to your computer for the next few days, and tell me what you think of it? I'm going to come back in like 3 days, and I'm going to take it back, and I just want your input. What do you think's going to happen, guys? Oh my gosh, it smells so good. What do you think might happen too? They will call you before you even come back, which is so important. Remember this, the only way they're going to do that is if you give them your contact information. You don't want to just drop and leave. Drop and here's my information. Here's a catalog so you can read a little bit more about the products, and then call me with any questions that you have. You're going to be so shocked that you get people calling you before you even come back to say, I didn't even know you guys had this. I haven't bought Scentsy in X amount of years, and I didn't know you had all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. You may walk in very well and they say, oh yeah, we never plugged it in. Here you go. Guess what? We all get that. What happens next? On to the next office. Just that's one no. That's one no. Okay. Eventually somebody's going to say yes. It's the same process, you guys. Nobody got to be successful in their business by accepting the first no. Okay. I literally walk the streets of my neighborhoods. Literally, you guys. Now you may say, oh, but I live in a gated community. I don't know if that's okay. I get it. I lived on an Air Force base that has like the most tight rules about soliciting. So what did I do? Okay. I lived on one Air Force base that was fine with it. And I met 15 new consultants in a 10-month period that I sponsored. And I ended up with 75 people on my team in my first year because they were doing the same thing I was doing. Okay. Now, if you're in an area that they won't let you knock on the door and actually share Scentsy directly, or that's just not your confidence level yet, bake some cookies, some brownies, and wear your Scentsy attire and knock on your neighbor's door and say, hi, my name is Kristen. I'm your neighbor. I've lived next door to you for about a year, whatever, however long, and say, I thought that I wanted to meet my neighbors. I realized that I've been living here way too long and I don't even know who you are. Now, you have to be genuine. She talked about it too. You don't want to say something you don't really feel. If you don't really want to meet your neighbors, then they're going to feel that. Okay. So ask yourself, what is the benefits of meeting your neighbors? Security. You know who's in your area to watch your house if you're going to be gone for a day or two or a long period of time. The old saying, I may need a cup of sugar, and you can knock on their door and say, hey, I need some sugar. But the thing is people need people. Humans need humans. We have been separated for over a year, and people's mental health is really suffering. So getting a kind little knock on the door by somebody that you've never spoken to before, or maybe in a long time, maybe you've said hi, but you've never actually introduced yourself to your neighbors. This is the time to do it because you are in control of helping people with their mental health. Even if that's all that happens, is that by you taking the step because you want to grow your business, that's what's pushing you to do this. But even if that's all that happens, now you know your neighbor. Now they know you. And they may end up being your best friend down the corner. They may end up, and here's the thing, it may take them a while. They may never buy from you, but they know you're a Scentsy consultant because if you're consistent with branding and talking about what you do, guess what's going to happen? Oh, stuff, right? Yeah, my friend was looking for a consultant. That's what you do, right? Yes. What's going to happen? They have a relationship with you and they're going to refer them to you because they know you, they know what you do. But that never would have happened if you didn't bake them some brownies and knocked on the door. So when you think about it, Scentsy is teaching you human communication, human needs. We all need to connect. We all need to communicate. And so Scentsy is pushing us out of our comfort zone to do that for a natural human need. But the bonus is you're meeting new people to network, and eventually you may end up getting a new customer, getting a new host, getting a new team member down the road. But those things don't happen unless you step out of your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to be staying in the same place of where you are because you can't change unless you're growing, right? And you're making changes. You can't grow unless you're making changes. And the expression growing pains comes from, yes, whenever you're growing, it's hard. So if you're fine, you don't feel any strain, any uncomfortableness in your business right now, it's because you're not growing. So if you're like, I'm good, I'm just content, then that's okay. I'm talking to people that even if that's what you want, as long as that's what you want, but you're the only one that knows that. So you could say all day long, I'm good, I'm fine, but you're the one that knows it. If you're really not, if you really want your business to grow, you really want a bigger paycheck, you want to help people by serving them and helping them get their Scentsy for free and half off, or serving them with the best option we have, which is helping them with a business, then we have to be the ones that put the first step to growing. That's what leadership's about, is doing what most people aren't willing to do. Okay. But this becomes the biggest fulfillment on a human need. You create happiness by serving. And so this business gives you that opportunity to serve clients, serve hostesses, and serve team members. It just depends on where you want to go and what you're willing to do. Another way to meet new people were the Facebook groups. So and here's the thing, this probably isn't news to any of you. But again, ask yourself, am I doing it? When's the last time I've actually intentionally worked in this area and thought about this and implemented action in this area? So, she gave an example of that her son's in high school, he's graduating. So she added herself to a senior high school graduation group page. And they're, discussing about how they're going to make these seniors have the best when it's not going to be a full, whatever, graduation ceremony. And so she's able to connect with these people. I am a part of a Yorkie group because everybody knows my Zoe. She's my little world. And so I'm able to communicate with a lot of people that that have the same little Yorkies. And I'm able to share my Scentsy pets products with them. When I saw a post that, hey, what do you guys shampoo your babies with? And I was able to say, this is actually what I use for my Yorkie. It's sensitive, it smells amazing, it's made for puppies, and it works great. And I'm being honest, I'm actually what I use, and I just happen to sell it too. Okay. So are you using those different areas? So when I talk about beating the streets too, you may not be comfortable yet or ever with walking to a business. But what else are other opportunities? Community involvement. You know, instead of setting up a shipment from pirate ship, get yourself out to the post office when you're doing mail. That's going to make, you're going to meet people in line. You're going to meet the post office person. Get yourself involved with, you know, if you are a part of some type of a charity or you like to volunteer and fundraise for certain things, you're going to meet people that way. Okay. You have to always be thinking, how can I get into the community? How can I be around people? Because that is your business. Your business is open when there are people around. And people that have been with me for a long time, I tell them that if there's somebody with a pulse, it's a Scentsy party. If there's somebody in the room with a pulse, it will turn into a Scentsy party in some way. But you have to be intentional. And I was actually listening to I'm a part of the Tony Robbins and Dean Graziano community. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but very big influencers in the world, billionaires, have business, you know, entrepreneurs, and they talked about you have to create your opportunity. You have to create it. You can't wait around for somebody else to make the opportunity for you. And if for some reason, some strategies that you're learning from Scentsy, from me, from whatever isn't working for you, that shouldn't be your end game. It should be, this isn't working. I need to create something that does work for me. That's what successful entrepreneurs do. They don't sit around and say, oh, I did this, this, and this, it didn't work. I guess I suck, or the company sucks, or the business sucks, or whatever. No, they say, okay, it's worked for all these other people. Why isn't it working for me? Where isn't it working for me? And then you can start digging and really, and that's where coaching comes. If you're dying for your business to grow and you're not reaching out to your upline to set up those coaching calls, you're telling them that you're fine and that you don't want to grow. But if you do, you need to let them know that this is where I'm struggling. So then they can ask you questions to help you dig to figure out where you're struggling and help find and get your heads together to create a new opportunity for you that works for you. Okay. Hold on. There was one other thing I wanted to share with you. Or there was a lot of other things that I want to share with you guys about what I learned today. But well, one of the things just pops up right here. It just says, how are you adding value? How are you adding value to your clients, to your hosts, and your team members? So if you're a leader and you ask yourself that question and you don't know how, then you need to be reaching out to your team members and asking what they need from you, what they're looking for, or what they're not getting. And it may be, I need training. Well, are you showing up to the Magical Monday calls that are available every single Monday? And they're going to say, oh, I don't know. Well, it's okay, great. But guess what? It's recorded and you can show up there. Oh, but blah, 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 blah. Then that means that they don't want it enough.
Jesus.
Okay. So there's a lot of ways to find out how to add value. So you added value by giving them information that they probably didn't even know about. And that's why they're giving you excuses. They're like, they feel that like, oh, I didn't even know we had that. But guess what? Now they do. And they have a choice. They can either show up or they can make an excuse because now they know they're available. Now they know it's in their inbox. Maybe it's in their spam and they never knew they got the recordings emailed to them. But that's what I need from you guys as leaders, is to make sure you're touching base with your team members to make sure they know of the resources that are available. Because being resourceful is the most important thing with being successful in a business, is utilizing the resources that are there. And that is being resourceful. You can have a ton of resources, but if you're not utilizing them, you're not going to go anywhere, right? Oh, this is a quote that I want to share this with you guys because there's just so much good. A gentleman that was on, he said, An oak trees are hidden inside acorns. Oak trees are hidden inside acorns. And so what does that mean? It's, you can't believe that an oak tree can be inside there, but it is, and it starts from one place. And so any of you that are, read the Bible, it's the same thing of if you have the faith of a mustard seed. It all starts in one place and then it grows. Just like my organization, I didn't click join and all of a sudden had 500 people in my organization. No, I started with me and I shared with one person at a time. Sometimes more because I did it in front of parties with, that's the beauty of doing these parties, because you get to talk to 10, 20 people at a time, right? But you just have to decide that, are you going to give yourself a time limit? Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first joined, I told Mitch, give me until September. I joined in April. Give me until September. If we don't see results by then, I'll quit. I literally said that to him. But guess what? I don't like quitting. That's just not who I am. And so what I did is I busted my butt all those months. And you know what happened come that September? I not only had a business, but I was helping other people grow businesses at that time, because I made a decision. You guys, I talk about the 4Ds all the time. Decide. You have to decide first. Where is this business going? And if it's not where you want it to be, and it's not even going where you want it to be, then what are you going to do to change the direction? You have to make a decision of what you're going to do next. And here's another thing that most people struggle with, is they try to do it by themselves. I said that earlier, but they try to do it by themselves. I did not get to where I am by myself, you guys. I communicated, I reached out, I asked a million questions, and I still do. And I still reach out to other people that are doing things better or bigger or different than I am, so I can learn from them. And then I figure out if it's something that I want to do or not, or I can do or not. And if I can't, what is the skill I need to learn in order to do it? I want you all to ask yourselves. This is something I really want you to do. If you do anything from this training, is I want you to write down all the skills you have today on May 17th, 2021. What are all your skills that you possess, that you think of are a skill, okay? That you can implement into your business. Start with just your skills, and then you're going to start linking them. I can do that with my business. I could do that with my business. I could do that with my business. And then areas that you're struggling, I want you to write those down. And then I want you to reach out to your upline if you feel you need the help, because we all need help, guys. Two heads are always better than one. It doesn't mean your upline is smarter than you. It means they may see something faster and more clearly than you do, because they're not emotionally attached to where you're stuck. You are. So they may see something that's plain as day immediately, that you're like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to figure this out for a year. And it's just because they don't have that emotional attachment that's keeping you from being stuck, that's keeping you stuck, basically. So they can maybe find that. And that's why I reach out to people. That's why I have a mentor, because here's the thing, guys, therapists have therapists because they can't help people. They can't help themselves on things that they're emotionally attached to and that they have blockage on. They may be able to help people all day long to get $100+ a month, telling people what's wrong with them and where they need to work on and this and that, because they don't have an emotional attachment and they can see things clearly. But when it comes to them, you bet your bottom dollar they have some type of a therapist, mentor, business coach, or something that helps them with their own stuff. And they know they need that, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be one for other people. Okay? So I want you to know that all the people you deem as successful, they all have somebody or people, like a group of people that they turn to help them with their own areas where they're stuck. I do. I have several people that help me in different areas of my life. I just hired a personal trainer because I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of being unhealthy. So, and I knew that I can't do it by myself. I've tried, it hasn't worked. So I need somebody that isn't emotionally attached to me to tell me, no, you need to do this. Give me 15. Keep going on that elliptical, because if I don't, I can go, I'm tired. I got other things to do. But this person's going to say, you're paying me money to do this. So you're going to do this. And I know that about myself. I need that strain to make that step. When I'm stuck, I need to be hurting in order to, in another area, to make the change. So I need to say, I'm paying this person, I better make sure I'm doing it. Okay. That's me though, guys. It doesn't necessarily mean you, but, and it doesn't mean you have to pay somebody. Scentsy has a culture that they want to just throw all of their knowledge to you. They're not looking for anything but for you to show up. Okay. They're not charging you to show up, because your time is the most valuable thing you possess. So you're giving your time. So daily actions build momentum, you guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, as an example, that this move has been very hard on me mentally, because I need organization, I need systems, I need clarity, and I don't have any of that right now. I'm literally taking one step at a time, because we are literally building my office, and it's taking a lot longer than we ever anticipated. And so there's systems that I used in my old office that aren't possible right now. So I have to find another way to get it done. And then there's other things that I'm doing here that I didn't do there. And that's this business. There's always change. So I'm using my example of moving as an example, but this business, when you get to a different level of your business, maybe you have more clients than you ever did before. Maybe you have more hosts in a month than you've ever had before. Maybe you have more team members than you've ever had before. There's always going to be a shift that has to happen. So there's never going to be oh, I got it done. A, B, and C, this is what I do every day. Here's the thing, guys. A, B, and C gets boring. And that's why you don't work for somebody else, right? Because if this business stayed the same every day, day in, out, 20 years, 20, 50, 40 years, you wouldn't be happy. You wouldn't, it wouldn't be something, you wouldn't stay. It's because there's change, there's excitement, and there's opportunity to grow. So whenever you struggle, and this is what I have to remind myself, whenever I struggle, when I'm going through a big change, I always think of that picture. I wish I had it popped up so I could show you guys, but of a diamond. How does a diamond made? It has the most pressure. It starts with coal, and then it has the most pressure it's ever been through, and then after all that pressure, it pops out a diamond. And so whenever you feel like you're like struggling and you're not going anywhere, and the change is just lots of growing pains, it's because things are moving, you're building momentum, and you're growing. And so I'm not saying that because you want to be growing all the time, you're always going to be hurting. No, you're going to be comfortable being uncomfortable eventually. So I tell you, this has been hard on me, but at the same time, I'm able to handle it because I've dealt with this my entire 10 years in different ways. Okay, I know I got off the subject. Let me finish up with what she shared, and then we're going to open it up to talk a little bit. So after you meet the people, okay, you went to the office and you dropped off a mini fan diffuser. You did a home show. You did a fundraiser. All these things. Well, first of all, always think of the next step, because if you're only focusing on the event, the fundraiser, and walking into the office and getting that order, it stops there, right? So what are the things that we need to do to keep that relationship going and turning them from a customer to a client? One of the things that Scentsy has the ability to do that other direct sales companies don't, I always use Pampered Chef as an example. Excuse me if anybody's a Pampered Chef. It's a great product. We use it. But when you got a pot, you got a pot. And it lasts a long time. But the thing is you can't label the actual pot. You can label the box, but they're going to throw it out. But you can't label a pot because it's going to burn off in the oven, aren't they? Or on the stove. So Scentsy, you can label everything. So they can always come back to you. Okay. Scentsy's a great gift, guys. It's a gift giving product. So it gets gifted all the time. If they can't come back to you and say, hey, I got this, I love this, how do I get more? I was just talking to a new team member in our organization. She joined in December. She's doing great, like $2,600. And I was like, what are you doing? And she said, that she's just been sharing on Instagram and just talking to everybody when they say your business is open when you open your mouth, right? But what I asked her is, how did you get connected with your sponsor? She's like, I don't even remember, to be honest with you. The only thing I know is that my son got a warmer for a gift and with no wax. So I went on the hunt to find some Scentsy wax. And she's like, I think that's how I found my sponsor on Instagram. So social media is definitely a tool, you guys. If people can go on Facebook or Instagram and type in Scentsy in, Cindy and I live in Las Vegas, she can put Providence or whatever, and it's going to bring them to you. That is a huge tool. That's another reason. This is another side note. Please make the note of why you always want to be paid at least at lead consultant every month, because you are not on the consultant finding the, what's it called? Not responder, finding whatever. The website that they type in Scentsy.com and they say, find a consultant. Your name will not be listed unless you are a lead consultant and above and actually paid a title. Why is that? Because they want people that are actively working their business, getting new business. They're not going to send you a customer if you're not working your business consistently, because then that customer is going to not be followed up with. Let's face it, guys. So they want people that are looking at their business like a business and making sure that follow-up is their number one tool of their business. So those are the people that are going to push to you, your website. Okay, so after the follow-up, after you meet them, following up, you guys, it's so simple. You hear it on every training call. When you come home from your home event, your home show, your fair, whatever you did, or you get done with your fundraiser, you have all these contacts and information. Do you have a system of how you're going to initially touch them, reach out to them? Then how are you going to touch them in a different way? So say you email everybody that crossed your path from the event. I always say 72 hours. Within 72 hours, you email everybody, thanking them for coming to your booth, thanking them for their order, whatever. So they get a touch point from you within 72 hours. Okay. Same thing with fundraisers. As soon as you deliver that fundraiser, you need to touch base with every person that placed an order that you have contact with. I'm not going to lie. Some people, even though you beg them to, they still don't give their contact information. But the people that you do, you utilize that contact information and you touch them in some way, whether it's, like I said, an email or a text. We now have project broadcast that we didn't have before. You can literally add everybody into an Excel spreadsheet, upload it to them, and send them a blast. Thank you for coming. Can't wait to get to know you better, whatever. And then have them on a auto system that they're going to be followed up with, a week from now. Hey, this is what's going on with Scentsy, I love my customers to get free and half off items. I would love to set you up with hosting so you can introduce Scentsy to everybody else. There's resources, guys. There's so many more resources than there was when I built my business. Honestly, if you utilize the resources, you will grow your business, but you have to be willing to invest. Now, this is something that I want to share that they talked about earlier today about the difference between an expense and an investment. So yes, project broadcast, it costs money. Not going to lie, guys. It's a monthly, or depending on how often you're going to do it, you do have to purchase credit. Okay. But are you looking at it as an investment or are you looking at it as an expense? Because yes, upfront it's an expense, but you're investing in this consistent communication with your clients. Okay. I just got two over $100 orders online from somebody that hasn't bought from me since 2014 that I uploaded to my customer blast from Project Broadcast when I was doing my challenge to try to earn annual sales. I added everybody. Yes, I get probably about 5 or 6 take me off your list stops with every blast. Thank you. Goodbye. I don't care. I don't want to spend money on you anyways if you're not going to buy from, do business with me. But the consistency, not going anywhere, always being there, being reliable, knowing that they're not, when they think of you, they don't think, I wonder if she's still selling Scentsy. I wonder if he's still a consultant. No, they know, oh, I know if my person ever stops, I know where to go. That's what you want. But you're only going to create that if you create systems of follow-up. Okay? There's Amy now. There's Project Broadcast. There's Visly. Visly is a setting up. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm still in the process of setting that up too. There's just so much. I've run my business on, manual everything for so long that I'm still putting the time in, just like you guys, to set everything up. But it's so worth it because it's not only going to bring you, it's not only money-making activity, but it's going to free your time up to focus on things that you absolutely have to be focusing on, like making a phone call. I saw something in the chat. How many samples do you recommend? I've gotten the lotion, body wash, and hand soap packets. I need more clarity on what you mean by what do I recommend? Like which ones to have in stock to give? Is that what you're saying? And then Cindy said, I heard several times on Saturday that their consultant is no longer selling. Yes. Every time I take somebody off my list, when they say stop, I will respond with, you have successfully been removed from my list. Please save my information if anything ever changes. And I add my website. And then I take them, I don't even know if they respond, but here's something cool, guys. When I was doing my mystery bags, because I was trying to earn annual sales and I was trying to cram in as $2,700 in 1 month that I didn't have anything planned. A lady that she bought from a fundraiser for me in, I think it was like 2019. She hasn't responded to anything up until that day. She purchased a mystery bag. She then texted me. I sent the mini fan diffuser. She did a $20 bag. So I sent the mini fan diffuser and the pods. Now I invested in an extra $5 because it was already in stock to give her the 2-pack of the pod so she could use it. Well, she said, oh, I was hoping that I was going to get bars. And I said, well, because I was shipping it myself, I didn't want to use anything that would melt because it would make the shipping a lot more, right? Because of the weight. And she goes, oh, okay, well, can I order 3 bars from you on your next order? And can I make it a party? I said, of course you can. So yay, I have a party. Not quite yet. The next text comes through yesterday while I was leaving church. I was like, oh man. She goes, I found out that a lady down the street sells Scentsy. I'm going to book a party with her and get the orders from bars from her because she's local. My initial emotion was like, I was like, that sucks. You already said you were going to book a party with me. You already placed an order with me and now you're taking it back. And I'm like, all the mad emotional human reactions. And I was like, wait a minute. She supported me and helped me earn annual sales, didn't she? She told me what she's doing. That was nice of her. She could have just never responded to me. I said, you know what? That's awesome. I'm glad you have a local consultant that can take care of your needs. If anything changes, you know where I am. I'm always here for you. She goes, thank you, Jess. I know that. I'll be in touch if I need anything. I said, do you want to stay on my contact list? She said, absolutely. So she's leaving it open because she has a relationship with me, but she's telling me it's easier for me to go to this chick down the street, which is true. It's easier for her to do it for me too, because I have to pay the shipping or I have to charge her shipping, right? Which I don't want to do. So I chose the gratitude road instead of the angry road, which I started to go down. But I'm like, wait a minute. If I choose gratitude, it's always going to be better. And what happened is I gained a loyal friend that I know if that person, which we all know, consultants usually are only around for a season. When they stop selling, she's going to need a Scentsy consultant again, and she's going to know where to go. So I want you guys to think about that. Okay. People choose who they do business with. And so if it hurts in the beginning, if people choose not to do business with you, it's human. Let the sting go by. Don't respond immediately. Because believe me, if I responded the way I felt like responding because I was emotionally hurt, it wouldn't have been good. So take a step back and then think about moving forward with gratitude. Okay. When you do a stop by at a neighbor. Oh, okay. Good question. I'm going to answer that in just a second. Yeah, the speaker, Jessica, on the call, she talked about gratitude and service and lead with a service heart. You guys, if you are using your business as an opportunity to serve, if you have a focus, if I want to put smiles on people's faces, I want to turn somebody that's dealing with mental health, they're stuck in their house, they're not going through good mental things right now. They, whatever, they lost their job, they lost their income. Do you know how many divorces that have happened in the last year, you guys? Because couples have been around each other more than they ever have, and they realize they don't like each other. It's sad. People are going through horrible things right now. And you literally have an opportunity to give them, to help them and add value to their life. Whether it's simply just to put an amazing fragrance in their home to make them smile when they had a stressful day, or if it's to help them out because they can't really afford it right now because they've gotten some commission, money cut in half or whatever, but they want to get their Scentsy, or to give them a resource to make some money right now. And this month it's only $20. That's like, again, it's a conversation starter. So it's a way to start the thought. But here's the thing, guys. People find money when they want something. So you may start the conversation with $20 because they're telling you how broke they are. But if you educate them on all the different levels of kits that we have, all of a sudden, maybe I can swing $100 because that's $150 value kit for $99. I want all that, and I'm getting it for $99 instead of $150. I can swing $99. All of a sudden, they have the money, or they find the money. Have you ever been broke, but all of a sudden you wanted something and you just found the money somewhere? You asked a friend, you asked a family member, whatever you did, right? So don't think that people are going to shut you down. You have to think with a positive mindset. As I have a tool, I have a way to add value to people's lives. Now, to answer your question, I always go with whatever fragrance system that I'm introducing. I have a couple samples of that product. Now, I've never knocked on doors. I haven't done it yet in this neighborhood. I know some people in my neighborhood. I haven't done it yet. Did you hear me? Yet. We didn't have body products. We didn't have clean products. So I had wax and warmers. And was there anything else? No, because in my last house, I lived there for 8 years. In the last 8 years, we came out with a lot of stuff. But I will tell you, when I did walk that neighborhood, I have 4 people in one community that are my front line now, because of walking my neighborhood and getting to know my neighbors. And when I moved away from that neighborhood, I left that neighborhood taken care of, didn't I? because there's 4 consultants they get to choose from. I can still serve them, but I want them to get the business, right? And so one of the decisions you have to make is, what am I willing to lend out? I mean, a diffuser is kind of an expensive piece to lend out, really, but if it's your neighbor and you know where they live, you're going to get it back, right? So whatever you're willing and able to lend, make sure you decide what fragrance system you're going to lend out, and then give them a couple different fragrance categories to try. So if it's the wall fan diffuser, bring a couple fragrance categories of pods to choose from to try for the week. Say, I'll be back on Wednesday, to pick it up and you tell me what it is. So my neighbor right here, Dennis, we've met him already. I have no idea what type of fragrance system he has, but on Sunday, yesterday, it was do something great or nice or something for your neighbor day. And my thought system was, I'm going to bring him some wall fan diffusers to try in his house, because this is what I do. And I'm just, it's do something nice for a neighbor. And I think that my products are amazing. So here you go. And if he doesn't want to try it, then he doesn't want to try it. But I'll never know until I ask, right? I didn't do it Sunday because I don't work on Sunday. I know that it's do something nice for your neighbor, but I was focused on my family. But it made me say, this is something on my agenda. This is how I'm going to introduce my business to this neighbor. And I will probably do the same for others. But we have to be intentional again. We have to want to meet new people. If you don't want to meet them, you're not going to meet them. You're not going to take the actions, right? So you can bring body wash. I mean hand soap. If you want to say, hey, we all need to wash our hands more than normal, right? Which shouldn't be. It should be. We always should be washing our hands that way. But now that COVID's around, it's more apparent. Here is. I own a business and we provide amazing hand soap. And I know you're washing your hands all the time, so it might as well be a great experience. So go ahead, try this for the week and tell me what you think. Always ask people's opinions. They love to give their opinions. You're not asking for the sale, you're asking for their opinion and their knowledge. What I always do, because it's true, and even if you're an essential consultant that just joined, you can say that my company loves feedback. I have an actual link that I get to share my customers' feedback on products. So I am going to report to my company what you personally thought of this product. And they're all of a sudden, oh, really? The company's going to know what I thought? What are they going to do? They're going to make their agenda to really, really dissect what they think about this product, aren't they? And when they come back with, well, this is great, you can say, you know what? Thank you for doing that. Give me your feedback. Go ahead and keep that. And have your label on the bottom. And when you need more, you know where to go. And then you can follow up. How long does it take to use some soap? Follow up in a couple weeks and say, hey, how are you doing? Do you need any more soap? Or, hey, I have a 50% off right now. I have an extra item and I know you love the hand soap. Do you want to get, some hand soaps with the 50% off? Or I'm putting in an order. Did you want me to add this to the order? It'll be free shipping. You have to intentionally be always thinking about the follow-up. The follow-up is the fortune. That's where you're going to build the relationship. That's where you're going to be able to give more information and product knowledge. And that's where you're going to get more information from them to actually get to know them better. All right. I said I was going to do we're late. We're exactly at 6:30 right now. If you have to go, I understand. I'm always late on my leadership call because of this one. I don't know why I put it right after, but really fast. If you're not registered for Reunion, make sure you're registered. It's right now. I'm actually probably going to ask some people that have been to several reunions to do some lives for me on this page, on the group page, sorry, not on this page, to tell why they go to reunion. It's obviously different right now. from when you go live, but what type of content it is, why you think that people should register. Make sure you check your news tab. Hopefully you've already saw that there's a second chance pre-sale for Retro Black Truck. And then that we just launched the Father's Day collection and the Disney Villains product. So hopefully you got your orders in. Bring Back My Bar is listed, and our bundle was available to be purchased today, starting the $126 bundle of 1 bar each. So make sure you get that in if you like to share that with your customers. A little tip is to simply break off a cube and make that a sample, or make little, I used to do, if you have a team and they don't want to buy the whole thing, you could break off a cube for each person and everybody gets a cube for a tester set. So there's lots of cool ideas to do with that. I'm trying to find the registration for reunion. It's not popping up fast enough because we got to get going. But go to your events tab, and oh, here it is. Okay, so for Scentsy Success on-demand training content for just $11, leaderships and directors and above, it'll be July 19th for leadership, and up until July 16th you can sign up for the $11. It's too late for the full package, but the content is still available. I just wanted to share this really fast because I wrote it down. 55 of you have 500 and over in PRV already. 144 of you are active, and 7 of you have over $2,000 already, and it's only the 17th of the month. So that's awesome. And then like I said, I was going to do the drawing today on this. I'm going to get the drawing little wheel up. Oh, here it is. Oh, you know what? I can't do it because there's too many people. I have to enter everybody's name. So I'm going to do it live on my team page if I'm your director. I'm pretty sure almost all the directors do the same thing. It's basically, if you have 500 in your first 15 days, it's called the Shooting Star Take 2 drawing. And if you did, you will be entered and I will tag you if you won. And if you didn't win, I want you to think of it as still a win, because you are doing the actions that are very important to continue to grow your business, as well as to do the things you need to do as a leader by getting that 500 out of the way so you can focus on training your team and connecting with your team and training yourself and booking parties and having sponsoring conversations. All right. Well, thank you for sticking with us. We're going to go ahead and close with a prayer. We didn't last week because we were really late. I don't remember why we didn't. That made me sad that I didn't do it. So I will say the prayer because Cindy said it last time she was on, so I will say it. Oh, and you're so welcome. Kristen's got to run. Okay. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful today to come together as sisters and brothers of this amazing business to learn from the wonderful consultants that take their time to do the training and to share their tips and tools that we can talk about what we've done. And I pray that the things that I shared today is helpful for everybody and they're able to utilize it and grow from it. We pray that our Scentsy family are all healthy and prospering in this year of 2021 and moving forward, and that we're able to add value to people's lives with this opportunity and grow as people. We love thee and we say these things humbly and gratefully in thy son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Love you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.